pussy lickers. Today I'm gonna teach you at home, because I don't care. You guys, I'm gonna teach you how to make my revolver in Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot of people make other people's revolvers from like movies or TV shows or video games. I have my own gun, and I'm going to show you how to make my gun. Okay. Step 1, components. The grip.
You know what?
Burl
you
grip.
Could use some rifling on this.
But if you want to, ebony, because I mean, I don't, or you could go ironwood or basic grip. Either one's fine, because not everybody's got a burl grip, because not everybody's got 10 bucks to spend on this shitty fucking game. Anyway, length, keep that bitch short. Nobody wants no long barrel gun. This doesn't do anything statistically to your gun, and it's expensive. But you want to slap some rifling on that bitch, because if you don't have the long barrel, you might as well have rifling, because that doesn't do anything aesthetically, it just boosts the stats. The length, though it does boost the stats, once you have iron sights and you have if you have improved sights and you have rifling, everything's maxed out. You don't really need anything else. And you know, that's how it is. And yeah, that's it for the components. For styles, this is where it gets funky. So the barrel, the cylinder, the frame, the hammer, and the trigger guard are all black and steel. Or if you don't want to spend a shit ton of money, you could make it blue steeled. I don't care. It looks pretty nice, but I like my guns looking worn, if you know what I'm saying. But you want that trigger guard to be gold. But if you want to add extra flair, you can make the hammer gold as well. I always wanted to make my hammer gold, but I just don't feel like spending money on it, because it is really just fucking, you know, like, it's just cosmetics. With engravings, if you can tell, fucking 75% of my gun's not even covered, like doesn't even have engravings. I just have engravings on the cylinder. It doesn't matter what engravings you do. It really doesn't matter at all. What really matters is that you keep it blackened so it looks like it's actually been engraved onto your gun, and you just take the cylinder and keep that engraved, but the barrel and frame are normal. That's all that matters. I just did the cheapest option. For carvings, you want the scorpion revolver, and it's very important that you have the scorpion engraving on your first revolver, and you'll see why in a second. For varnish, dark rosewood, or if you feel funky, dark walnut or mesquite or mahogany. I really like those. I don't know why I went to ammunition, but the next gun, by the way, this is your, right? This gun is your.
Beautiful condition.
Very important
Keep
that
it up.
That the club is your, and the diamond is adopted. That's what I named my gun.
Good.
You're adopted.
Ain't no trace of rust on that
the grip,
as far as I can see.
everything else is the same with components.
I bet I can make this
Same
piece
thing
work
with
a lot
metals,
better for you.
engravings,
Bolts, triggers,
carvings is where it
parts,
gets funky.
Back here.
You want them rattlesnakes. You want that rattlesnake. You want that classic Clint Eastwood rattlesnake for adopted. That's why I said keep it different. For varnish, dark rosewood, or mesquite, or you know, dark walnut, all the other things. And yeah, that's your adopted. That's my guns. You also, I'll show you how to do Clint Eastwood's revolver real quick. A lot of people have already done this, but I'll show you how to do it.
Condition.
And I'm not gonna do the base bitch shit. We're doing his gun from a fistful of dollars and a few dollars more, where it's a Colt single action army, because that's an actual gun that you have in the game. Improved sights, get that out of here. We don't need that. Long barrel, get that out of here. We don't need that either, because Clint Eastwood doesn't need a long barrel to kick some ass, but you do want that rifling though. For grips, you want ironwood grip, or if you feel like being fancy, get that
Jacob Worth is a friend
grip.
of mine.
You know what I'm saying?
Him.
Because Clint Eastwood ain't
He's
no
just about the
pimp.
worst
He don't
poker
need no
player in
pearl
all
grip
Valentine.
or an ebony grip. Basic grip is just fine if you don't feel like spending money on a grip. It's fine. Just fucking do what you want. All right, metals. That's where it gets funky. So, barrel, cylinder, hammer, sight, and trigger. I don't know why it's tempered steel. I want it to be black and steel, but I don't feel like spending 2 gold bars for a trigger. I'll barely even see the fucking thing. I originally had it iron, you don't have to do really anything to the trigger because you're not really going to see it. Your finger is going to be covering it the whole time. The frame, you want to be brown steeled, or if you want to, I don't know why you would, you could have it gold,
If you need
brass,
anything, let me
or
know.
tempered steel. See, tempered steel is what it's supposed to be because it has that cold hard casing for the frame where it looks kind of like muddy water. But when they added that into the game, which is what tempered steel is, it doesn't look like what it's supposed to. It's supposed to be kind of brown blackish with some kind of funky looking oily water colors, which is why I go with brown. I don't know why that just happened. Which is why I go with brown, or you could go with brass. Brass works just fine. I don't know why you would. It costs more gold, but brown is what you want to do. Hammer, if you really want to be accurate, nickel or iron, because it's a different color from everything else. But I went with blackened steel just so that's what I prefer. But yeah, you want brown steel. For engravings, if you really want to be fancy, you really want to be funky fancy,
plenty reason for that.
Make sure
Valentine.
everything is engraved but the cylinder, and then make it blackened so that it matches the color. But that's not his revolver though, and Clint Eastwood doesn't need engravings. For the carving on the grip, you want a rattlesnake, because Clint Eastwood, if you don't know, on his revolver, he's got a silver rattlesnake on that bitch, because he's a fancy lad, and he doesn't need engravings to make his gun unique. He just needs that rattlesnake, that silver rattlesnake, which I pray to God next DLC, I pray that we'll have actual like embedded things in the grip, not just carvings, like actual things, because then you can make Ben Wade's Hand of God, and then you can make this gun accurate too. But for so far, just get the snake and carving. For varnish,
I'll let Sheriff Malloy and his boys know about my
mahogany,
best deals, as you can imagine.
Bubinga's pretty good. And wild cherry. Wow, Devin, you didn't make a joke about Bubinga. Wow, I'm disappointed in you. Wow. How did you miss the Bubinga joke, Devin? It's called Bubinga, Devin. Just say, I was expecting you to say something.
Don't listen to the folk around
but
here.
Then you said
nothing.
Not
ever do arms business with no gang.
What the Devin, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Why?
Because.
Good. Ain't no trace of rust on that as far as I can see.
Okay.
You know what? I bet I can make this piece work a lot better for you.
Well, if you want to have an offhand gun that's the same as your regular gun, the only thing you need to change is the carvings. Because I feel like if Clint Eastwood did have 2 revolvers, he would have a snake and a scorpion. Because first of all, they're like right next to each other.
But did he?
No, he did not. In the movies, he used 1 gun, which is why when people make his outfit, they don't have an offhand holster, Devin. So, because he only used 1 gun. But see, I like having 2 guns because I earned it. And Red Dead Redemption 1 didn't have dual-wielding, so why would you just get rid of dual-wielding because, oh, Clint Eastwood didn't use 2 guns in the movie? I bet you he would if he had to. Bet you he would dual-wield pistolero that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm also gonna show you how to make. Fuck, what else am I gonna show you how to make? Devin, I deadass forgot what I was going to show everybody else how to make. Fuck.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you how to make my double action revolver. Fuck it. I don't have a name for these.
Beautiful
they're
condition.
Just,
Keep
you know
it
what
up.
I'll call these? I'll call this one piece of, and then the second one shit.
Good. Ain't
So
no
if you
trace
die,
of
you're a
rust on
piece
that
of
as far
shit.
as I
And it
can
also
see.
talks about how bad the double action revolver is. It's a terrible gun.
Keep
You
treating
should
that
never
like
use
your
it
own child,
unless
alright?
you know you're bored.
Good on you.
Burled grip. Make that bitch burled.
No, I can
Length of the barrel. Make that bitch long. Put some rifling in that bitch. Iron sights, that's going to be necessary. Put them iron sights on this bitch, right? Styles. Black and steel all the way down. I like black and steel. It's pretty nice. Engravings. Art Nouveau engravings. Everything's engraved. This is a fancy gun. Carvings. Whatever the fuck you want it to be. I don't care. I just didn't put any on there because I'm lazy. Varnish. Dark rosewood. Who would have thunk it? Alright, let's move to the next gun. Oh, guess what? The next gun is exactly the same.
Ain't no trace of rust on
It's
that as far as I
exactly
can
the
see.
same. Metals. Guess what? Black and steel all the way fucking down this lad. Engravings. The exact same. Everything's engraved. Right? And then carvings. Fucking nothing. But you can put whatever you want. I might, if I do put engraving, two carvings, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with my Navy revolvers. Scorpion, snake. Because that's venomous creatures. Varnish. Same fucking thing, lads. Alright. High roller revolver.
You keep treating
I
that
just
like
wanted
your
to
own
show you the
child,
high
all
roller
right?
revolver. I've
Good
had
on
this
you.
since I was level 12. Lowry's revolver.
Good.
Iron
Ain't
this
no
sumbitch,
trace of
felt
rust
like
on
showing
that
it
as far
off.
as I can see.
Improved bow. Yeah. Why is this even here?
He's losing his mind slowly.
I'm going crazy, then. Scorpion
Beautiful
revolver.
condition. Keep it
I
up.
think that's what this is referencing, because there's a scorpion on the revolver. But I also have this one. It's supposed to have a pearl grip, but it doesn't for some reason. Ah!
Put one on.
Semi-automatic pistol.
Your
Ah!
own child, all right? Good on you.
Carbine repeater. I never use it.
It's beautiful condition. Keep it up.
Lancaster repeater. I use it
Keep treating that
sometimes.
like your own child, all right?
Now here's my
Good on
baby,
you.
the Litchfield repeater. I'm going to show you how to make
Beautiful
Walker
condition. Keep it
Slayer
up.
/ Zach's Litchfield repeater.
I bet
Rifling.
this will be better with some new
Why
sight.
the fuck not? It literally only does good things. Iron sights. Improved. Scope. Slap one on if you feel like it. Stock. Burled. I think. Is it burled? Yeah, it's burled. Wrap. Leather wrap. Or cloth. Styles. This, I want it all to be black and steel. So if you really want it to be how I do it, or want to do it, black and steel. With a brass frame. But I have blued for the time being. Alright. Full engravings. But then you take the barrel and lever off. And then you make it brass. So it looks like it's actually engraved in the bitch. Carvings. Nothing. Because we have leather. Wrap. Leather. Make that bitch
Just remember
chocolate.
to put my pistol down as a bid in poker the other night.
Varnish.
I can't recall who won that,
Birch.
though. Damn.
That's how you make Walker Slayers. Litchfield repeater. Elephant rifle. Look at this
Keep
fucking
treating that
thing.
like your own child, all right?
I just wanted to
Good
show
on
you my elephant rifle. I think that's about it, really. Oh, by the way, Krampus double-barreled
Good.
shotgun.
Ain't no trace of rust on that as far as I can see.
How to make Walker Slayer's hunting knife. This is what you do. You make the
It just
metals,
keeps going.
blued steel, engravings, baroque in red if you have it, varnish, wild cherry, but I'm gonna change it to ebony. Alright, that's how you make Walker Slayer's full loadout. I hope you want to die, because I do. And you have a nice day. Oh, fuck it.